What do you do when your script calls for nighttime scenes, but you don't have the willpower to start shooting at 10 p.m. and you don't have the budget? This is called shooting day for night. We are shooting during working hours, during the daytime, but we are trying to achieve a nighttime look. There are huge benefits to shooting day for night, and I will get into all of those in this video. Welcome to the Adorama Cinema channel. If you are new here, welcome. Please subscribe, like, comment, check out all of the other videos on this channel. I am also new here, so I'm very excited to share some of our behind the scenes and our process and kind of the education behind the commercial filmmaking that I know and love. So without further ado, I was the DP on this project called Sounds Asleep, and I will be walking through why and how we shot day for night. Shooting after the sun goes down requires you to have lots of lighting to properly expose faces and wide environment shots. So in order to do this, you need a lot of budget, and this is one reason why you might want to shoot day for night. Bigger lights means more money, more generators, more crew to then operate those generators. Shooting this way and changing your exposure in camera or in post will save you a lot of time, a lot of gear, and a lot of budget. Number two is safety and logistics. I don't know about you, but night shoots are very tough on crew and cast. Like, I personally need a full 9 hours of sleep, and I am a very happy camper. If you're driving late at night, it's just a safety hazard. So it's really great when you have a day for night shoot because you are awake during your normal waking hours as a human. All right, let's get into the techniques of how we actually shot day for night on a budget, mind you. This was a spec project, so it was a self-funded commercial between me and the director, Brittany. The most important thing that you can pay attention to when shooting day for night is your lighting. Where are you motivating your light from? What is gonna make sense in your scene? Are you motivating with moonlight? Are you motivating with practicals? So let's get into that. When you walk into this room, ask yourself, what are the things that I can control? Can you control the moonlight, fake moonlight coming through the windows? Can you control the daylight that is coming through the windows and make it seem like it's moonlight? Or do you just want to black it out completely? So there are many ways to do that. Now, when we think about moonlight versus something like a warm practical, that is your decision as a DP creatively, but it is also a decision that has to be made by production. Once you enter the space that you're going to shoot in, you have to be aware of how many stories up high is this room. In our scenario, I think we were floor 2 or floor 3, and it was very snowy that day. Like, there's just mounds of snow surrounding this house. It would be very hard budget-wise and safety-wise to hoist a light all the way up to the 2nd or the 3rd floor to then motivate with moonlight. So I'd have a fixture out there that was set to 3200 Kelvin, something hopefully very strong, and it would be washing through the window and giving us some cold moonlight. This, I think, is what was missing in some of my very dark scenes in this shoot, but alas, that is kind of our limitations, especially when it comes to spec. So what we ended up doing instead was the opposite, where you are now motivating from the practical lights that are in your space. So these are the lamps, these are the overheads. You can then push more level outside of frame that makes it look like that lamp is creating a lot of glow or a lot of key on your talent. Another technique is using shears or curtains. It's very important to never be able to see the sun through this window. So depends on the direction of your windows. Are you north facing? Are you east facing? You're adding shears that will also allow you to stop down the light that is coming through the window. And art department and you will be best friends when it comes to this conversation, because when it comes to any kind of diffusion with the windows, like shears or curtains, you can get pretty creative with them. So because this, room was very dark blue, I think we opted for a lighter curtain to then hopefully allow some more level to come into the room because it was already very dark. You can use shears plus maybe some ND gels. So these ND gels that we used on this shoot, they're from Lee filters, and they basically just stick to the window with some water and a squeegee, so you can reuse them, which is awesome. We cut them exact to size for the glass, so That allows us to specifically just control for the window. It's just like putting an ND filter on your camera lens, but this is like an actual gel. This can then be reused in other areas of the house or the room if you are shooting different windows. You'll be picking out lamps, maybe table lamps, maybe floor lamps. How big are these lamps? Can they support B7Cs? This is another conversation that you can have with your production designer about what kind of lamps that you are going for. Hopefully they have some really cool suggestions that really match the theme and mood and style of the room that you're shooting in already. If you have shot day for night and you've got more techniques, I would love to hear them in the comments section. I will also be sharing a ton more behind the scenes and other breakdowns from this specific spec shoot on this channel as well as my own channel. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below with any questions and I will see you in the next one.